Welcome everyone. So what we're looking at today is the branching scenario. And this is a great tool, a great activity to use if you have a good imagination, if you're a creative person. This is a great way to explore that creativity. So a branching scenario is basically a presentation that moves along based on the choices that a user makes. That's the simplest way I can put it. And you can add videos, you can add images, you can add image hotspots, you can add presentations, text, all of these things. So this is the one that we've made, and this is the plan that we followed to get there. So we have a front page, we have some questions based on the questions. So the front page has a presentation, then we have two questions. Based on the question, if you get them correct, you go to the next image. If you get it wrong, you go back to the presentation, and if you get it correct, you go into other choices, and based on your choices you will progress through the presentation or the activity. So for example, we can start the course and we have our presentation here on the first slide. You go through the presentation. When you're done, you say next magical place or proceed, and they will ask us some questions about the presentation. So what animals did you learn about? So the first option is wrong, the second option is correct. If you click on the first option, it says wrong answer, looks like you haven't paid attention. Next magical place. That takes you back to the presentation to study again and to know that we learned about these three animals. Next, elephants, giraffes, and lions. And it says good job, you studied well. You move on to the next part. What activity do you want to do next? Do you want to go skydiving, car racing, or diving? Sorry. Based on the choice, you will go through a different path. So I want to go car racing. There's a video, car racing. After you're done watching, proceed. Car accident, and it asks you were in an accident and you hit your head. What do you want to do? Do you want to go back and see if you lost your memory? The first option will take you back to the first presentation to study again. The second option, you say I feel fine, let me move forward, and it says okay, some text, please sign this document so you can't sue us in the future because you hit your head. Next says that's it. That is the end of this specific scenario. Other scenarios end earlier. You can have as many branches and as many scenarios and as complicated of an activity as you can make, as long as it all makes sense, like this. All right, let's take a look at how we can create this activity using H5P on WordPress. Let's get started creating a branching scenario using H5P on WordPress. So before we get started with this activity, I just want to show you what we are planning to make here. So this is what our scenario will look like. So first we will have a front page, and that front page will be a course presentation. So we will have a course presentation. After the course presentation is done, we will have our first fork or branch. And that branch will have two options. It will ask a question about the presentation, and if the user gets it wrong, he will have to go back. He will be sent back to the front page to look at the presentation again. If he keeps getting it wrong, he's gonna be stuck in this loop, going from wrong back to presentation and so on. If he does get it correct, if he gets it correct, he will get an image that says good job. After that, he will get another branch or another choice. And that choice will ask him, do you want to go skydiving, car racing, or diving? What do you want to do next? And if he chooses skydiving, it will take him to a video about skydiving. Car racing, it will take him to another video. Or go driving or go diving, it will take him to um, a video about diving. And for each one, there is a different scenario. So if he chooses skydiving, he will watch a video, and then he will get an image that has a comb in it, and that's the end of the scenario. The activity is done. But the same is with the diving. If he goes diving, he will get a video about diving, and then he will get an image that has a towel in it, and that will be the end of the scenario for him. But if he chooses to go racing, he will get a video about racing, which then will send him to an image of a car accident, let's say, and then he will get another branch, and that branch will tell him you were in an accident. If you want to see if you still have all your memory, you can try this again, try this activity again. So if he chooses option one will send him back to the first step, which is the course presentation. If he says no, I'm good, I feel fine, he will get a custom end to the scenario. So this is what we are building here. As you can see, you can have as many branches as you want. You can have the scenario be as long as and as complicated as you want. You can have 20 different branches in one step. So the more complicated you make it, the better it could be, or you can have something simple. What I have here is, I would say, is kind of in the middle, and that's what we're gonna build. So to do this using H5P, what you want to do is you want to go to your H5P and you want to add a new activity, and that is what we're doing. Okay, so from the module list, what you want to choose is you want to choose the branching scenario module. If it's not already installed, you can click on get to install. Once it's installed, you can click on it to start adding this scenario. So this is it right here. We'll enter a title here. We'll just call it branching scenario. That is the title. And you can see this is where we're dropping the content. And on the left hand side, we have our options, what we can add. So this is the content. The second one is settings. The third one is language and translation, and you can get a good tutorial, not very detailed, hence why I'm doing this tutorial. And at the end, you've got the metadata that you can add to the module or to the activity, which is kind of like the identifying data that won't show up on the front end. Okay, so how do we start? Here? So one way we can start is we've got our content here on the left side, and under content we've got our branching content. So we said we're gonna start with a course presentation. Let's look at our plan. So first, we're having a course presentation. So I drag it and I drop it here. And I'll call this let's call it step 1, course presentation. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna click done. So I don't wanna create a course presentation from scratch. I've done that, I've got a tutorial about that. It does take a while to create a presentation. So I'm gonna show you one way you can add this type of content. So I'm going back to all of my content that I've created before on H5P, and course presentation right here. This is a course presentation that I have made before. I'll click on edit, I've got my course presentation that I've made. If you watch my previous video, it's called Welcome to the Jungle. Alright, so this is my course presentation. One thing I can do is I can click here on copy to copy this presentation. And I go back to my tab here. What you can do is you can come here and you can click on paste. Again, you can come down here, click on paste. So now it's asking me, where do you want to paste your content? Do you want to paste it in a new place? Click on the plus, or do I wanna paste it on top of the course presentation I have? I just want to paste it over it. Replace. So I have it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do delete. What we could have done from the start is from a blank module, I can come here, I can click on copy, go back, I can paste, and then click here on the plus. This is my course presentation, and it's got all the parts in it. And I'll click done. So now I have my first step. If I start a preview here, you can preview your work at any time. I have my presentation. It's about animals, and it's about elephants, giraffes, and lions. So that's the first step. As you can see, there is also a button here that says proceed, and this button takes you to the next step. So if I click on it right now, proceed, that's it. That's the end of the branching scenario. I can restart course, or I can full screen it. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to edit and go back to my plan. So my plan says after the course presentation, we're gonna have a branch. We're gonna have some questions, and the questions will ask about the presentations. So let me go back. To add a branch or a fork in a road, a choice, what you want to do is you want to add right here, branching question. You can drag it and drop it, or you can click on it and then click on the plus. And let's call this branching question 1 about presentation. That's the title. It's metadata. It's not going to show up. And then we have our actual question. And this is the question that we're going to ask. Which animals did we learn about? Which animals did we learn about? And we have two alternatives here. We could have 3. But in our plan, we said we're going to have one correct answer and one wrong answer. So we're only adding 2 options here. So the first option, we're going to say lions, bears, and turtles. And the next one, we're going to say elephants, giraffes, and lions. So the first one is the wrong answer, the second one is the correct answer. Now, for the branching options right here, this tells the module what to do if this option is selected. This is very important. So special action if selected. If the user selects lion, bears, or turtles, what I want it to do is I want it to jump to another branch. Which branch do I want it to jump to? Course presentation. That's the only other branch that we have. That's the only other branch that we have. For the second part, if they get the answer correct, what can we do? we can either end the scenario or we can jump to another branch. But the problem here is, no feedback. The problem here is we don't have anything other than the course presentation. So we can't really set the second one just yet. If you wanted to add more options, you can add more alternatives. You can add as many alternatives as you want. Also for the feedback, you can add feedback to the user. For example, wrong answer. Feedback text. It looks like you weren't paying attention. Please try again. Or please study and try again. You can add a picture of something or someone saying wrong. So we have number 1 here done. Number 2, not so much. It's still empty. Let's say done. Now we are done. At the bottom here, it says 1 alternatives without custom scenarios. So if you remember, the second choice, we don't have a scenario for it. We didn't add anything because we don't have the slides to add to yet. So in the bottom, it tells you how many scenarios are without an answer or a designation. They haven't been set. So A2 hasn't been set. If someone answers elephants, lions, and giraffes, the module doesn't know what to do. I didn't set anything. So this one right here, A1, so it tells me what happens when I click A1. So when the user chooses A1, it goes back to the course presentation. That is why it is highlighted. It is highlighted. So let's take a look at what we have created so far. So start the course. You can set a custom page for starting. We will set that maybe at the end. I'll start. I've got my presentation. Everything is good. I studied. Let me proceed. Now it asks me the question that we've set. And it says, which animals did we learn about? So we're going to choose the first one, lions, bears, and turtles. And it says wrong answer. It looks like you weren't paying attention. Please study and try again. And when you click on proceed, it takes you back to the presentation. So far, so good. So far, so good. Let's go back to our edit here. So let's look at our plan. What did we plan to do next? So we planned, if they answer correctly, we're gonna show them an image that says good job and then take them to another branch. And this branch will ask them what they want to do next. Do they want to go skydiving, car racing, or diving? So the image for good job, we know how to set that. So I'm going to edit this branch. So I click here. I've got some options. I want to edit my branch. And if they choose the second one, we actually have to add the scenario first. We have to add the branch before we can add the image. So what I can do is, I know that next I have to add my branches, my 1, 2, 3 branches. So I'm gonna add a branch, and this branch I can make it after A1 or A2. A1 is lions, bears, and turtles. That's what I want. So I'll add it here. And we said we're going to ask them what activity do they want to do next. So this is branching question 2. What activities And the question is, what activities do you want to, or what activity do you want to do next? And we've got 3 alternatives for them. We said we're gonna do skydiving, car racing, or diving. So skydiving, car racing, or diving. 3 options. 3 options. I won't set anything yet. I'll just click done. 3 options, but these options aren't attached to anything. They're not attached to anything. Let's go back to our A1. Let's go back to our first branch, and I'm gonna edit the first branch. And for elephants, giraffes, and lions, we want to jump to another branch. And that branch, now we're gonna set the branch to what activity do you want to do. We want them to go to that step. And for the feedback, we're gonna say good job. You studied well. You deserve some fun. And let me add a background image here, or a feedback image. So you can add an image. And this image will just say good job. Okay, and I'm done here. So now if I look at the bottom here, it says three alternatives don't have any options because I haven't set. Now A1 and A2 are good. If I click on A2, it shows me where, so this is A2 now. If I click on A2, it shows me where it goes. This does look wrong right now. I want A2 to lead here, not lions, bears, and turtles. Let me double check. So lion, bears, and turtles. I want that to take me back to the course presentation. And elephants, giraffes, and lions. Yes, I want that to take me to the branching. So I don't know, I'm not sure why that changed. I didn't change it, or at least I don't think I did. Okay, so far I got my course presentation. I've got 2 questions. If you answer A1, you go back to the first step. If you answer A2, you get a good job and you get 3 more options. Let's take a look at how that looks right now. So I got my course presentation. I'm good. I answer the correct, or let's answer the wrong one right now. It says wrong answer. Sends me back. I study again. I proceed. I get the correct answer. I get a picture that says good job, you studied well, you deserve some fun. And it says, what activity do you want to do next? Skydiving, car racing, or diving? Let's see if we click. I haven't set anything for these. If we click on them, it just ends the scenario. Okay, great. So what we're gonna add now is we're gonna add, let's go back to our plan. We said for each one of these options, we're gonna add a video. And for options 1, skydiving, and option 3, diving, we will have videos, and then that will be the end of the scenario. That'll be done. But for number 2, we're gonna add a video, then we're gonna add an image, then we're gonna add another branch, which is the third branch. Okay, so let's add the videos now. So to add a video, very easy. Click on the video. Where do you want to add it? So you got A1, A2, A3. So this one is skydiving. Let's add the skydiving video. Skydiving video. And we can either upload a file or we can get it from a website. So I've got a skydiving video here from YouTube. I'm gonna insert. Alright, fine. Playback, autoplay, accessibility, track. And I can add a branching to it, but I won't do it just now. Actually, let's do that now. So we said after this video we were gonna end the scenario. So what you can do is you can jump to another branch, but you always have the option to end the scenario. So this would just be like an end screen. So I'll just say custom end scenario. And I can say, all right, I hope you had fun. Let me go back to my plan. I might have screwed this up. We need an image, and then after the image we're gonna end the scenario. Sorry. We're not doing a custom scenario here. We're connecting this to the image. So that's it. That's a diving video here. We have another video, which is the car racing video. We're gonna add the video. Insert. I don't want to change anything. I'll leave the branching for now. And so with the work area, what you can do is you can just kind of click and move anywhere. You also have the option to zoom out if you're working with a big project, or you can zoom in, or you can just fit to screen. So it's really easy to work with. So let's add our last video, third video, and that's the diving video. And we're gonna add it. I've got the link for that. And let's just say done. Quick preview. Start course. I won't go through this. Say proceed. Elephant, giraffes, and lions. Good job. Proceed. Where do I want to go? I want to go skydiving. That takes me to a skydiving video. Now if I click on proceed, because I didn't set anything, it'll be the end, but no. So I'm gonna go back to edit. We said we're gonna add images for each one. For the first one, we're gonna add an image. Let's add the image here, and we said this is gonna be an image of a comb. Just call it comb hair. No hover text. And for the branch, we said we're gonna end it after this image. So we're gonna say custom end. I'm gonna say thank you. So you fixed your hair. And you're all good. Thank you for joining us. I hope you had fun. So that's it. We're gonna, should we add an image? You can add a custom image, or you can add a custom end scenario image. I don't have an image. You can put one. I already showed you how to put an image. So there's a custom end here. So you know there's an end here because there's a red flag. You know that this is going back to a previous step, so it's got kind of the recycling sign. This one has got a custom end. Let's add the other. Why does it say untitled? I want a title here. It doesn't look good. Done. Okay. Let's add another image. So I'm gonna add another image. This one is for the diving. So towel, and we're gonna add a picture of someone drying their hair with a towel. And we're gonna add a custom scenario here, custom end, and in the custom end I'm gonna say thank you. I'm gonna paste what I did there and say you dried your hair and you're all good. Thank you for joining us. I hope you had fun. Not adding an image here. And that is done as well. So let's look at that very quickly. So I go there, start my course, I study, I proceed, I know the answer, good job. What do you want to do? I want to go skydiving. I watch the video, I go to the next one, fix my hair. After that it says thank you, you fixed your hair, you're all good, thank you for joining us, I hope you had fun. If you put an image, the image would be here. It would be nice if you wanted to put an image, and very easy, just as I showed you. You would get the same answer if you clicked on the diving as well. And now for the car racing, so we're gonna add an image here. And for the image is a car crash. I won't add a branching option yet because I'm going to add the branching option after this. So it's just a car crash. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a branch after this. I want more questions, and this is branch question 3, and it's about the car accident. And we're gonna say this to the user. We're gonna say you were in a car crash and you hit your head pretty hard. And then we're gonna give them 2 options. And this will say, let me start again to see if I still have my memory. That will take them all the way back. So we're gonna add the branching to this option, and it's gonna jump to which branch. So we have a lot now. That's why it's important to name them. And we're going back to the start, which is the course presentation. So you can send them back to any step if you wanted to make it complicated. So we're going back there. And if they do choose this, we'll say, all right, I hope you have all your memory. And then let's see. I don't want to add an image. You could add an image here, but I don't really have anything to add. So this is our first option. This is if they choose let me start again. If they choose the second option, which is I feel fine, let me go. I feel fine, let me go. For this, we're just gonna add a custom end scenario. If they choose I'm fine, let me go, that's it. That's the end of the scenario. And we're gonna say it's your call. please don't come back and complain tomorrow. That's the end of the scenario. No images, we're not adding any images. Okay, so just to look at that again. So this is the last branch, number 3, and it's got 3 questions. It's got 2 questions. Do you want to go back to the start, or do you want to finish? If they want to go back, take them back. It takes them back. If they want to finish, they're done. There. Let's fit that in the screen, and that kind of now looks like the plan that we had at the start, with 1, 2, and 3 branches. That's what we set out to create. Let's see how well that works. And you can see the red flags here for the end. So you know this is the end of the scenario, end of the scenario. This is also the end of the scenario. And this one goes all the way back to course presentation. It's connected to another branch. So whenever something is connected to another item, it will have this icon. Okay, let's take a look at what that looks like now. Start the course. We saw this. We choose the correct answer. We go to the next step. They're asking us, what do you want to do? I want to do diving. Plays a video of diving. Okay, dry your hair. And thank you, you dried your hair. Thanks for joining us. Hope you had fun. We can go back. We can try again. Lions, giraffes. Let's go car racing now. So we're going car racing. We've got a video here. We're racing and we crashed our car. And it says you were in a car accident. You hit your head pretty hard. What do you want to do? Let me start again to see if I have my memory, or I feel fine, let me go. If I click the first one, should take me back to the first step. If I click the second one, should end the scenario. So if I click, let me see if I have my memory. All right, I hope you have all your memory. Let's see. And takes me back to the start. Otherwise, it would have ended the scenario. So that's basically it for the core things that you can do. You can also add text. So if you just want to add text just shows a picture. So let's add some text here. Let's add some text here. So I want to add some text. This text says, please sign this document so you can't sue us in the future for hitting your head. And we'll leave something like this. Okay, and we will make this the end of the scenario. Say great. See you next time if you can remember how to get here. So this is the new custom end. So what I want to do now is I want to click here. I want to see if this end still exists. If it says I feel fine, let me go. We don't want to end it here anymore, so we'll take that one out. So what we're gonna say is that's it. Let's see. So now this should automatically take us here. We don't have to attach the branch to here. So I just did that to show you what text looks like. Image hotspot. I have I have a video showing you how to create an image hotspot. One thing about the image hotspot, you can also import an image hotspot. So you can copy your image hotspot activity and paste it into here, just like we did with the course presentation. But you can't do that with the interactive video. That's one thing I found. So if I go back to all my content, and if I open up my interactive video, so this is my interactive video here, I'll click on edit. So I've made an interactive video, should be all good. I copy it, I come back here, I want to add it, so I'll paste. Interactive video works. So it's not interactive video, it's image hotspot then. So I'll go back, I'll get my image hotspot. Image hotspot. I'm gonna copy my image hotspot. I'm gonna come back and I try to paste, and this is what it says. It says the content in the H5P clipboard is a higher version. So my image hotspot module is higher version than the one that is accepted here. So I can't paste my image hotspot, but I can with my interactive video. I can bring my interactive videos in here. So that's another really good way of creating activities, is you show an interactive video, you can ask questions about that, or you can play a movie based on what users choose. So you have 3 or 4 different scenarios depending on what they choose, and they can move the movie along. That would be really cool as well. That's another cool idea. So let's see what we did here. So we added a choice, and we added a text, and that would be the last thing that the user sees. Start course, proceed, elephants, lions, giraffes, car racing. We get into an accident. What do you want to do? You want to go back to the start, or I feel fine, let me go? Okay, but before you go, it says please don't come back and listen or complain to us. Okay, so the reason why that showed is because we didn't attach this one to the correct branch. It still says custom end. So once you select one of them, you can't unselect. So we just go to a branch, and what we want to do is we want to go to the text, which is the last piece here. And we're going to say done, and we're going to preview and proceed, answer, car racing, proceed, I hurt myself, I feel fine, let me go. And it says please don't come back and complain tomorrow. That's still there, we didn't delete that. And then it shows the text, please sign here, and it's done. Great, see you next time if you can remember how to get here. So the last thing I want to do is get rid of that text here that says please don't come back and complain tomorrow. I don't want to see that. So we went over course presentations, text, image hotspot, interactive video, and branching questions. So these are all the things that you can show. Quick info right here is kind of a legend to tell you what everything means, all the icons. So that's all for the info content. For the second one is the start screen. We can say welcome to our amazing course. I don't know why the T is capital. Course detail. In this course you will learn some magical things. You can add a course image. I don't really have a course image. I have an image of a beach. Makes no sense. And you can also add a custom end screen. That is, if you don't add an end screen, you can just have one custom end screen. And for the scoring options, select type of scoring. So set score for each end scenario, or so this is statically set score for each end scenario, or dynamically calculate score from user answers. So this depends on if you have activities in there and there's score. Do you want to calculate it based on each set scenario? Let's see what that gives us. So the score will be set to any LMS, LRS, or any other connected. We don't really have anything connected here, so it's kind of pointless. That won't help us. And I'm going with no scoring. So we've set our screen. So if we don't set end screens here manually, so in here we set our end screen manually. If we don't set it manually, custom end screen, then what you can do is you can set it here, and that will take over for all the end screens. Here you can override the default text in the activity. So instead of start the course, you can say something else like go to next magical place, just to show you what this does. It's done. Preview. So we have now our picture for the intro, and it says welcome to our amazing course. In this course you will learn some magical things. Start course, and now it says next magical place instead of proceed. And if I say it wrong, or if I get it right, then it moves. Good job. And you see they all say next magical place now. This, and thank you. No picture. Restart course. So let's create. I don't want to show toolbars next to my activity, and I'm gonna click on create to create our branching scenario. Okay, so let me refresh this. I'm guessing the preview doesn't show up here. Okay. Okay, so this is our activity. You can full screen it, and you can really make a cool activity out of this. You can make a game. You can watch a movie where users can choose what happens in the movie, or they can tell characters what to do in the movie, and they can do that. They can do based on the options. The movie can branch off based on the selected options. So to get this activity on your website, the front end, you want to copy the short code here. You want to put it in a page or a post. What we're going to do is we're going to add a new post to put this activity in. Okay, so we'll just call this the branching scenario. Remember, this still says beta on it, so I'm assuming it might have some bugs. You want to add a block, and this block should be a shortcode block, and paste your shortcode in there and publish your post. Yes, I want to publish, and view your post to see what it looks like on the website. Okay, so it looks like this. What you can do is you can full screen, and let's just go through it once. Let's go through it once, and you go through your presentation. You get your summary here. Next magical place. Good job, thank you. And I want to go car racing. Watch the video. Get into a car accident, and you're in a car accident. What do you want to do? I feel fine, let me go. And it says, please sign this document so you can't sue us in the future for hitting your head. Name, sign, can't really sign. And that's it. Great. See you next time. If you can remember how to get here. You can restart course, or you can make it smaller. Okay, so that's it. This is a really good activity. One thing to note is that I think you can get the most use out of a presentation and interactive videos in here. If you feel like the content is limited, you can add it to a presentation, because the presentation activity can take basically all kinds of modules, all kinds of activities. If you remember, maybe we can go back. If you remember, the presentation activity can take all kinds of fill in the blanks, drag and drop, hotspots, just a lot of things that you can put into a presentation. We have a few of them here. Even exportable text, and continuing text or continuous text as well, and stuff like anchors. So if you feel like you're limited with the content you can put in this branching scenario, you can use the presentation as a way of getting your content in here. So you add them to a presentation, and then you bring your presentation into the branching scenario. I think that's a good way to do it. All right, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, also if you make or you have made any cool branching scenarios, please leave a link below so everyone can check them out, so I can check them out. Really interested in this stuff. All right, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.